Subnetting. Now subnetting first, what is subnetting, and actually why we do the subnetting, that is important. Why we do the subnetting, that is important. Subnetting is very simple. Subnetting is like dividing a single network into multiple subnetworks. That is what is a subnetting. If we have a single network, then we can divide this single network to multiple subnetworks, and that is called subnetting. But first, why we do that subnetting? Now, why we do the subnetting? Just for example, I will show you, like we are having a single class, like we are having class A, class B, or class C. Now remember, when the network part is seen, so all the machines can do the communication. Like for example, we have a class C network, and this is what my class C network I can say. Now, unless the network part is same, the all machines here, they can do the communication. But remember, the class B is actually a big range. Big range, like in a single network, we may have 65,536 IP addresses, and if you remove network and broadcast, then still you will get 65,534 IP addresses in a single network. Single network, that means they all can be communicated with each other. They all can do the communication. They will consider to be in the single network. We don't need a separate router to do the communication. Just we connect switch and they all can do the communication. But 65,000 is a big number. Big number, that means we may not have that much machines in a single area or single place. It could be there. It could be a campus. It could be a organization's campus where we can have 65,000 machines or 60,000 machines, whatever. But it is not possible like you are having a single room, and in that room you are having a 65,000 or 60,000 machines. So even if suppose some organization is that big which needs the 60,000 machines, that means what, they may have a different departments. They may not have a same in a same organization. They may not have a same department which uses the same all the devices. It might be a different department. Like in the different department, they may have servers and they may have the clients on these different departments. So they are having a different department, like for example sales, marketing, other departments they have, and in those departments they may have a different servers and different clients. They are working on it. They are different servers are there, and they are having different clients there. So if we have 60,000 machines, they may not have a single department. They may have different departments. Now when we talk about different departments, that means they have a separate server for that department. They have the department, their clients for the department. So each department may have different servers and different clients with them. Or maybe we can say like Windows domain environment, we may have different domains. We can say like this is a different domain, that is this one is a different domain, this one is a different domain, this one may be a different domain, parent, child, or whatever. But because they are in the same network, because they are in the same class B network, they can all be do the communication. Means whenever someone sends the data from this device of this department to the other device of the other department, it will reach that device, because they are in the same network. And for that we don't have to do any other configuration. We just need to connect them together so they can do the communication. But communication is a good thing, but there is a problem here also. If suppose this is a big network, and in a big network and it's in a single network, then it can be a very difficult to do the troubleshooting. It will be a very difficult to do the management. Now for example, one more thing is very difficult is a broadcast. Broadcast can become a problem in this kind of environment where we have a large number of machines in a single network. Unless they are in the different department, but still, because they are in the single network, this broadcast can reach to everyone. Like for example, this department's this client wants to connect to DHCP server, so always it will send the broadcast. Or for any other application, it wants to send the broadcast, but it only wants to send the broadcast to their own department machines. It does not want to send the broadcast to other departments. But whenever it sends the broadcast, because they are in the same network, the broadcast will reach to everyone. It will reach to all the departments, but they don't need it, and it is not sending for them, but still the broadcast will reach to everyone. Now whenever anyone do the broadcast from anywhere, it will reach to everyone. Now remember one more thing, in the network, if you see more broadcast, then your network will become slow. So as broadcast increased, our network gets slow. So we should not afford more broadcast, and broadcast from one department, we don't want to get it to the other departments also. Then if suppose some problem comes in some department machine, like in this machine we had some problem, or in this network we have some problem here, but it is going to affect the whole network here, because they are under the same network. Because they are under the same class B network, then the problem can reach to other networks also. And also it will be difficult to find the problem, it will be difficult to do the subnetting, because we don't know that where is the problem, because all these things are in the single network. Let's say for example we had some virus here in this machine, we get some worm here, and worms do what? They spread through the network. Remember, virus will not spread, but the worm will spread through the network, and worms carries the viruses. So in other hand, we can say worms and viruses can spread to the network, and if suppose they are connected to the same network and they are in the same network, then the virus will come, the worms and viruses comes into single machine, in a single department, it can spread to all the departments and all the machines in the network. So these are the different problems we will face when you have a single network. Now because it's a big network and we have a different department, we want them to be separate, we want them to be a separate. So what we can do, we can divide this a single network, we can divide this single network into multiple sub networks. So what we can do, we can divide this network, the whole network, into multiple sub networks. Now it will be a class C single network, but we divided it into sub networks. Now when we divide them into sub networks, they will be considered as a separate network. Remember, they will be considered as a separate network. That means machines from this network will not be able to do the communication with the other machines of the other sub network. So they will be the different sub network, they will become a different sub networks, and these machines will not able to do the communication with the other sub network. Now when they are not able to do the communication, that means they will be separated, and whatever happen into the one network, one subnet, it will remain in that subnetwork, it will not reach to other subnetworks. So what we will do here, we will divide the single network into multiple subnetworks, so that what we can do the better troubleshooting. We can have a problem, so it will remain in that problem, and most importantly, we can divide the broadcast. We can decrease the broadcast network in a single in a network, and we will separate them to the we can restrict them to a separate subnetworks. So that is the need and that is the benefit of doing the subnetting. So this is the requirement to do the subnetting, and now we'll see how we can do the subnetting. Now I will see how we can do the subnetting. So subnetting is what? Is a logically dividing the network by extending once used in subnet mask, and subnetting allows you to create multiple logical networks that exist within a single class A, B or C. A, B or C network, because we can only use A, B and C, D and E we can't use it. So if you do not subnet, you are only able to use one network from your class A, B or C network. Now when we want to do the subnetting, then our subnet mask will become important. Our subnet mask will become important because the subnet mask is a thing which divide the network and subnetwork, divide the network and the host. That means it identifies that how many network or how many networks or we can say the what is the network part in our IP address. So subnet mask is it defines the network part in our IP. Now, in a subnet mask, now when we talk about the subnet mask, so subnet mask is also a 32-bit address, and it is divided by four parts of 8 bits, and each part has 8 bits. 8 bits, that means we can have number from 0 to 255. So in a subnet mask, it can be 0.0.0 or 255.255.255.255. Now, when we go by the classes, so class A, B, and C, they have the default subnet mask for each classes. Now, default subnet mask, that means we can't change that default subnet mask. So for example, for class A, they have decided the subnet mask will be 255.0.0.0, for class B 255.255.0.0, and for class C 255.255.255.0. Now default means what? We can't change this, it is fixed. In class A, for example, in class A we cannot change this 255 because it is fixed, but we can change this. Remember, we can change these zeros. Then class B, we cannot change this 255.255, but we can change this 2 zeros. In class C, we cannot change this is reserved, and we can change this. Now it defines the network and host part. Like if you have any class A address, like for example we have the address like 10.0.0.0. Now this is what this is the IP address we have of class A. Now with this subnet mask, it defines that the 255 means this is the network part, and 00 means this is the host part. So it defines that this is the network part and this is the host part. And we can see here these are also 8 bits and 8. So these all 8 bits are on here. In class A, if you see, these all 8 bits are on here. Now that means what? It is a network. And in class B, we can see these all bits are on here. That means 8 here and 8 here, total 16. And in class C, we have 8 and 8, that means 24. So by default, in class A you get 8 bits on, in class B you get 16 bit on, and in class C you get 24 bits on. And these are the 0, these bits are 0. Now what that means? That means when you see if the bit is on in subnet mask, now that means it is a network. It will be considered as a network. And if you see the bit is off, 0, that means it will consider as a host. So when you get the 0, that means it is the host, and when you get the 1, that means it is the network. So you will get the networks. So this is what the subnet mask. In subnet mask, when you get bit on, that means it is a network, and when you get bit off, that means it is the host. Now in class C, we can see it is a 24 bits are on. Now 24 bits are on, that means we can also write it like this, /24, and it is called CIDR value. This is what the class A address, this is class B or class C address example. So in class A, we know that 8 bits are on. 8 bits are on, that means we can also write it like this, like IP address and then /8. And in class B, we know the default is what? 16 bits is on. So we can also write it like with IP, we can write it like /16. For class C, we can write /24. Now this way of writing, this is the way of writing subnet mask. So we can write the subnet mask either two ways. Either we can write it like this, 255.0.0.0, or we can write it like this, /8. And what this says, it is called CIDR value. It is called CIDR value, that means classless interdomain routing value. And what it indicates very simple, the enable bits in subnet mask. So when I say /8, that means we are talking about the enable bits in the subnet mask, and that means 8 bits are on, and that means what, 255.255.255.0.0.0. So that means what, it is the class A subnet mask for this IP. And when you say 16, that means 888 16 bits are on in the subnet mask, that means 255.255.0.0. that means it's the default subnet mask for the class B. And when you give /24, that means 24 bits are on, that means 255.255.255.0, that means it is the default subnet mask for class C. So this is what the another way of writing the subnet mask. It is called CIDR value, and it indicates that how many network bits are enabled, how many bits are enabled in subnet mask. So this is what the default, and we cannot change it. But the zeros are for us. Zeros are for us, and we can change these zeros. Let's go for example here. Okay, now for example, we have this network available. Like we have this class C network, that is 192.168.1.0. And in this class C network, how many IP addresses we get? So we get total number of IP addresses is 256. 256 IP addresses we will get. Now in 256, what is the usable IP addresses we will get? We'll remove network and broadcast. Network address, which is the first address, and the broadcast address, which is the last address of the network, that we cannot use it on any device. So we can't use it on any device, so we can't use it. It is like unusable IP address, so we can't use it. So if we talk about that, then we will get 254 IP addresses at least. Now if this is the network and we have total number of IP address, we are having this. Now I have these 4 different departments here. 4 different departments, that means in one department I have 50 machines, in another department I have 30 machines, in another department I have 40 machines, and in another department I have 60 machines. So I have these 4 different departments, and if I total these all numbers, then we'll get 180 machines. That means I have total requirement is 180 machines. That means I need total number of 180 IP addresses. And what the number of IP addresses I have? I have usable IP addresses of 254. So it is fine. I can use it like I can use it normally. Like I can start from one machine here, and I will use the first IP 192.168.1.1 to the first machine. Then I will go to till 50. That means 192.168.1.50 till here. Then after that I will start from here. Then next I will start from here, and then it will end it here. So all the IPs I can assign directly on these 180 machines. But there is a problem. They are different departments. I don't want to use the same network for them. Like I want to separate them. So I have 2 options to separate them. Either I purchase or lease 4 different networks, like 192.168.1.0, then I will take 192.168.2.0, I will take 192.168.3.0, and then 4.0 for all these 4 departments. Then there will be a different network and they will separate it. But I'm wasting the IP addresses, because in each network I will get 254 IP, and here I will use only 50, here I will use only 30, here I will use only 40, and here I will use only 60. So rest of the IPs is going to be wasted. But I don't want to waste my IP addresses. I'm having a requirement only of 180, and I'm having in single network I'm getting 254 IP addresses. So what I can do, I can do the subnetting, and I can divide this single network, that means total number of 256 IP, I will divide it into 4 different subnetworks, so that I can assign these IP addresses to these different subnetworks, and they will become separated. Now They will be separated. That means they will not be able to do the communication to each other. If someone wants to send any data from this department to this department, it will not reach to that department. It will not reach to department because it is separated. Unless they are connected to the same switch, they will still remain separated. They will not be able to do the communications. Now if we want to do the communication with them, now remember, we want to do the communication because we did the subnetting because we don't want to do the unwanted broadcast. We don't want to send the unwanted problems from one subnet to other subnet. But if suppose, because they are all in our own company, our own company's department, and if suppose someone sitting here wants to send mail to the other department person, then that mail should be go to that department. It should go to that department because it is sending a normal mail to this other department person. So the mail should go to that department, and we should make sure that the mail should reach, but the broadcast and problems should not reach. So we make the we divide them to the subnetting, so the problems and broadcast will not go, but this mail should go. So for this mail should go, what we need is the router. That means after doing the subnetting, they will become a different network, separate networks. And when we do want to do the communication between those networks, then we can do the communication only through router. Like if someone wants to send the mail to this department person, then the mail will go to first router, and then router will route the network, route the data to this other department. It will not go directly because they are now separated. But while they are in a single network, they don't need to go to router. They can directly go through the switch to other department. But we don't want to make them as in a single department. That is why we did what we did the subnetting. So we do the subnetting to divide them, and if we want to do the communication to them, then we need the router. Okay, so how we will do the subnetting? So we have a single network of 192.168.1.0, and we want to divide them into 4 subnets. Now when we want to do the subnetting, then subnet mask is important, because remember, in subnet mask, ones is the network and zeros is the subnetwork. Zeros is the host. And if you see how many zeros we have here, so we have subnet mask is what, 255, 255. Like first 3 parts are network, and only 1 part is a host. And when we see the bits, so 8 bits here, 8 bit, 8 bit, 8 bit, and that is 24 bits. And we can also write it like /24. So what is the number of 0 we get? 8. And that means what? We get the number of host is 256. So how we are getting it? We are raising 2 to 8. That is the number of host bit. So when you raise 2 to 8, you will get what? 256. So this 256 is the host addresses, and these addresses belong to us. This default subnet mask, this default subnet is not belong to us, it is a default. So we cannot do any changes here. But the zeros we can change. These zeros we can change. Now zeros we can change, that means what? We can enable these zeros. We can enable these zeros, we can disable these zeros, whatever we want we can do, because this belongs to us. Now what we want to do, we want to have a different 4 subnets. Now in this, so for doing the subnetting, we should consider this table. This table will help us to do the subnetting. Now we can remember this, or you can just write it on your book, whatever. The table is what? It is the 2 raised to table, like 2 raised to 0 is 1, and 2 raised to 1 is what? 2. 2 raised to 2 is 4, 2 raised to 3 is 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1024, and it can go up to 32 bits. We have total 32 bits. So if we have 1 bit, now this 2 is the power of 2. This 2 means what? We have in the binary, we have only 2 numbers, so we always use raised to 2, and this number indicates the bits. Bits means 0 or off, 0 and 1. So if you have one bit on, then you will get number of network here. So what it indicates here, when we have one bit on, so on means what we get? Network. So what we get number of two networks. If one bit is 0, and 0 means what we get? We get host. So if one bit is 0, then we will get host. So how many hosts we will get? We will get number of 2 hosts. Same as if we have 2 bits on, then we will get 4 networks. If we have 2 bits off, then we will get 4 hosts. If we have 3 bits on, we will get 8 number of network. If we have 3 bits on off, then we will get 8 hosts. If we have 4 bits on, so we will get 16 number of networks, and if 4 bits are off, then we will get number of 16 hosts. And same as it goes on to like 32 bits we have. Total number of bits we have in the subnet mask is 32. Now this is our network here. This is our network 192.168/24/24. That means the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. That means 24 bits are on and 8 bits are 0. So as you can see here in the bits, in the bit wise, when we see here, so 8 bit is 24 bits are on and this bit is 0. So while it is a default subnet mask, let's convert it into binary first. So when we convert it into binary, you will see that 888888 till here, because it is 255.255.255. Now if you see this, so this is the number of one we have in class C any network, and that is why what we can count this 24 and we can get the number of network we have in class C. But these zeros belongs to us. So we have 8 zeros here, and 8 zeros means what we get? 2 raised to 8 zeros means we get 256 hosts here. So by default, when we don't have any subnetting, so in any class C network, number of 256 hosts we get because of these 8 zeros in subnet mask. Remember, we are talking about subnet mask. Now what is the requirement for us? The requirement is the 4 different network we want. So we want these 4 different network for these 4 different departments. So 4 different departments, we want 4 different networks. Now if I see the table and if I want to have a network, so if I need how many networks I need? I need 4 networks. So 4 is here. And for the 4 networks, how many enable bits I want? Remember, networks will be given when you have on bits. So how many on bits to get 4 networks? So we can see here we want 2. We want 2 on bits to get 4 number of 4 networks. Now how we will enable that? So if you want to enable the bits, and you can enable the bits in subnet mask. Now when you enable the bits, so you have to leave the default. Now we cannot change the default bits. Remember, this is not for us, so we cannot change this, but these zeros we can change. Now I will do what? I will steal some zeros from this host part and enable them, and when I enable them, it will give me the networks, because enable bits means it is networks. Now I need 4 networks, so for 4 network I want to enable 2 bits. So I will enable 2 bits. Now where I will enable the 2 bits, that is also important. So this is not an IP address, it is a subnet mask. So in the subnet mask, when you want to enable the bits, then you have to enable the bits from left to right continuously. You cannot enable bits anywhere from middle. You have to go continuously. So if you have ones, that means if you want to enable any bit, then you will have to go from left to right continuously. And if you want to have zeros, then again the zeros will come continuously from right to left. So it will come continuously from right to left, zeros, and continuously ones will come from left to right. You cannot enable any bits from in the middles. Like in for IP addresses 32-bit, you can enable any bit from anywhere. But for subnet mask, you cannot do that. You can only enable continuously. So continuously, that is why you can see these all bits are on from left to right, and these are the default bits. Now I want two more bits, so I will enable two more bits from left to right continuously, and that will be these two bits. Now when I enable these two bits, because I want to enable two bits, so remaining bits will be 6. So out of 8 we enable 2 bits, and remaining bits we get 6 bits. Now this 2 bits will give me 4 networks. How? We can see 2 raised to 4, 2 raised to 2 will get what? 4 networks. Now number of zeros are remaining only 6. So when I raise 2 to 6, then what I get? 64. And 0 means host. So I will get what? 64 host. Now what that means here? That means we have a total number of network in a class C. We have total number of IP address is 256. So we divided into 4 parts. That means 4 parts, and each part will get now 64 IP addresses. As you can see, in each part we will get 64 IP addresses, because in the remaining zeros are 6, and 2 raised to 6 is what? 64, and the ones are 2. We have extra 2 enable bits. That means 2 raised to 2 we get 4. So we divided the total number of IP address we are getting out of 2 raised to 8 into 4 different departments, 4 different blocks, and it is what? 64 in each blocks. And we can even say this 64 as a block size. This is the single block size, and we have 4 blocks, and the networks we can also say that these are the 4 blocks, and in each blocks we get 64 IP addresses. Now enabling the bit means what? It is what we are enabling on the paper, but we have to configure this on the systems. That means all the systems we have in these different departments, we have to configure the IP addresses and subnet mask into it. Now when I configure the IP addresses in the subnet in the department, in each machines in the departments, so what I will do, I will not do this subnet mask, I will not give this default subnet mask. Instead of that, I will give this subnetted mask. Now in the subnetted mask, it is now changed. So when you convert it back to decimal, so this 255.255.255, it will become like this. This is the default one, and we cannot change that one. This is the default one, and it is the 255.255.255 because all these bits are on. But previously when there was no subnetting, it was 0 here. It was 0 here because all these host bits were 0. But now we have enabled these 2 bits. So now the default subnet mask is changed. And default subnet mask is changed, that means we have enabled these 2 bits. So we have to calculate the values of these bits according to the position. So first bit is 1, this is what? 2, 2, 8, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, and then this is what? 64, and this is what? 128. So these first 2 bits is what? 64 and 128. So we have to combine this 64 and 128, and when you combine that, you will get 192. So instead of 0, now we will write the subnet mask as this, like 255.255.255.192. Means what? So this is what we get, 192. So how we are getting it? Like first first the default subnet mask was 255.255.255.0. It is the decimal, so we convert them into binary, so it becomes all these bits are on, and 255 when all the 8 bits are on, like these are the bits position value of the decimal value based on the position. First bit value is 1, then 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64 and 128. When all these bits are on, so we combine this value and we get 255. So 255, 255, 255, that means on, and 0 means all off. So this was the default subnet mask. So when we want to enable the bits, so we convert it into binary, we enable these 2 bits. Now we will convert back into decimal. So when we convert it back into decimal, so these on bits will become 255, 255, 255. That is what we did not change. But the 0, previously it was 0 here because all the bits which bits was off, but we enable these 2 bits. So instead of 0, we have to write the value of those 2 bits. So when you take the value of those 2 bits is like this. First, 6 bits are 0. So we will not take the value of these bits. These 2 bits are on here, and that means what? The bit number decimal value is 128 and 64. These 2 bits are on. So when you combine these 2 bits value, so you will get what? 192. And 192 means what? These first 2 bits are on and rest of the bits are off. So when you give this subnet mask to any machine, the machine will calculate itself. This 192 means it will take these 2 bits on and the rest of the 6 bits as a off. So when we give the subnet mask to any machine, it will calculate by itself that we have these 2 bits enable and 6 bits off. And remember, it will also calculate that these 2 bits on means we have 4 networks, that means we have 4 blocks, and each block has 64 number of hosts. So machine will automatically calculate by itself when you use this subnet mask. And even it will also calculate that what is the network first subnet IP, what is the second subnet IP, what is the third subnet IP. It will calculate all of that. So now when I did the subnetting, now I know that this will be my subnet mask, and this subnet mask means what? We have 4 different subnets, subnetworks, and in every subnetwork I get this number of hosts. Now what I will do, I will go to these different departments and I will start assigning the IP addresses. Now when I start assigning the IP addresses, so it will be like this. In a first network or first department, I will start from the first IP address. That is what? 192.168.1.0. This is the first IP address of my network, and this will be a network address. I cannot use this address. So the valid address, it will start from 192.168.1.1, and then it will end on how much? It will end on 64 actually, because in each block the block size is 64. That means 64 for this department, 64 for this, 64 for this, and 64 for this. That is what I did. So it is going to end, it is start from 0 and it is going to end on 64. So it is going to end actually on 63. That means 192.168.1.63. This will be my last address. Why it is 63? Because we are starting from 0. So because we are starting from 0, so till 63 it will become 64 numbers. So it will be 64 numbers here from this 0 to 63. But this 0 is not able, we can't use it for any device. It will be a network address for this subnetwork, and this 63 will be the last address for this network, this subnetwork, and it will be a broadcast address for this subnet. So usable addresses will be from 1 to 62, and all these machines, these 50 machines I have, I will assign the IP addresses from this 1 to 62. All the IP addresses from 1 to 62 I will assign on these 50 machines. It will not be used for all these IP addresses. It will use only 50 addresses. Rest of the addresses I will remain for the future use. but this block will be assigned here in this first department. But when I try to assign the IP addresses on this department, I will not use the default subnet mask. What I will use is this subnetted mask. So when I use this subnet mask, then all the machines in this department will know that we have 4 different departments, we have 4 different blocks, and this is the first block of that 4 block. It will automatically know that from 0 to 63 means what? It is the first block of these 4 blocks we have. We have 4 blocks and this is the first block. Then the second block I will assign on this department. It will start from 64 because it ends on 63 here, last IP. So it will start from 64 from here, and the 64 will be the first IP for this block. So it will be a network IP, and then it will go up to 64 again. So when you add 64 into 64, it will become 128, but because we are using the 0, so it will got 127, and that 127 will be the last address for this 64 block. And we cannot use 64 and 127 because these are network and broadcast. So the valid and usable addresses will be between 64 to 126. So all will be not used here, only 30 will be used, but the rest will remain for the future use, but the block will be assigned here. And all the IP addresses which I assign to this machine in this department, I will use this subnet mask. So when I use this subnet mask, all the machines here, they will calculate that we have 4 blocks and this is the second block, this is the second network. Then the third block I will assign to this department, and it will start from 128 because the last block was ended on 127. Then it starts from 128 and this is the first address for this block, this block. That means it is the network address for this block, and it will add the 64 into it. So it will go till 64, and 64 means what? 192. But because we are starting from 0, so it will be reached till 191, and then the 191 will be the last address, and that will be the broadcast address for the department. And then we usable IP addresses will be between all the remaining addresses in between from 129 to 190 will be usable address, and I will assign them here. It is not going to use all of them because I need only 40. So whatever the need I will require, whatever the required IP addresses I will assign here, but I will assign with this subnet mask. And the subnet mask indicates that there is 4 blocks and this is the third block we have. Then the rest of the block, the last block I will assign on this department. It will start from 192 because last block was ended on 191. It will go up to 255. Now here it is ending. Remember, the IP address, the network is ending here. We got now 255. This is the last address, and these 2 addresses are we not going to use, the network and broadcast. So what is the addresses I am going to assign here is in between this 192 to 255, that is 193, from 193 to 254. All the IP addresses are available to assign, and I will use whatever I required here. But remember to use this subnetted mask, because this subnetted mask is important, and it will define that our network is having 4 different blocks, and in these 4 blocks we have a 4th block. So this is what we did. We did the subnetting and we divided a single network, single class C network, into these 4 different subnetworks. Now these 4 different subnetworks will remain separate and they will not be able to do the communication to each other. I'm going to show you in this how it works. I'm going to show you how it works. Let me show you this. Okay, for showing you that example, I have these 4 different machines here. These are the 4 different machines I have, and they are connected to the single switch. This is a single switch, they are connected. So now they are connected, but they don't have an IP address, so I will assign the IP address. So on this first machine, what I will do, I will go to desktop and IP configurations. Now here I'm going to configure the IP address as if is the first subnet, first department machine, like 1.1. But I'm not changing the subnet mask. You see the default subnet mask, it has automatically taken. It is 255.255.255.0. I'm not going to change. I'm not changing the default subnet mask. Then I will give the IP address to this machine from our second subnet IP. Like for example, our second subnet is starting from 64. So I will give 65 here. It is like a second subnet's first IP. And again, this is with the default subnet mask. There is no subnetting. Remember, I'm not doing subnetting right now. I'm using the simple IP address. Now this third machine, I will do what? I will try to use the third subnet first IP. Now third subnet is starting from 128. So I will give 129 here with the default subnet mask. And this IP I will give the fourth subnet first IP. Let's say 192.168.1 dot. The last subnet will start from 192, so I will give 193 to this machine, and with the default subnet mask. Now I'm not giving any subnetting. These are in the same network. All four machines are in the same network. I will write it here like this machine has an IP address of 192.1.1. That is the first subnet IP. This second one 192.168.1.65. That means the second subnet IP, second block IP. This I have given 129 is the third block IP, and this one I have given the last block IP 193. So these IP addresses I have given to these machines. Now they are in a same network. They are not in a different network because I have not changed the subnet mask. Now when I try to do the communication with each other, like I will try to ping from this machine to all these other machines, then we will get the reply. So I will open the machine, first machine, I'll go to command prompt and I will try to ping. I will try to ping these other machines. So I will try to do the ping to 192.168.1.65. And when I ping, I am getting the reply here. I am getting the reply because they are in the same subnet. I will try to ping the other network, other machine, this third machine, which is 129. And it is also giving me reply because it is also in the same subnet. Now I will try to ping this last machine, 193, and I am getting again the reply because they are in the same network. They are not in different subnets. We have not done the subnetting. They are in the same subnet. But now I will do the subnetting here. What I will do, I will go to this machine IP configuration, and now I will change this 0 to manually 192. Remember, our subnetted mask was 192, and when I give this 192 to this machine, now this machine knows that we are having a 4 blocks and I'm in the first block. This IP is in the first block, and same as for these other machines. So these other machines will also understand that these are in the different blocks. Now when they will consider, they will know that they are in the different blocks, then they will not do the communication to each other. So now I did the subnetting here. Now I changed the subnet mask. I have not changed the IP address. I only changed the subnet mask according to our subnetting. Now I will try to ping it again. Ping from this machine again. This first machine. I will try to ping this other machine first. 65. And now it is not getting any reply. Why it is not getting reply? Because now this 65 is from the different subnet. So it cannot connect. It is now considered as a different subnet. Same as the 65, we cannot do the communication to other machines like this. These two machines also, 129 and this 193 also. they will also not reply because they are also under the different subnets now. So it is also now getting timeout for this 129, this third subnet machine, and then it will also get the timeout for 193, and that will be considered as a third subnet, fourth subnet. So this is what are different subnets. So what did we change? We only changed what? The subnet mask. So when we change the subnet mask to all these machines knows that we have now 4 blocks, 4 different subnets, and these are the first subnet IP, this is the second subnet IP, and this is the third, and this is the fourth. So because of that, subnet mask. So this is how it works, and we did what? We divided this single network into multiple subnetworks. So this is what we saw here, is what is the subnetting and how we do that, and very simple why we do that. That is also important, that why we are doing the subnetting. We are doing the subnetting so that we can divide the single network into multiple subnetworks. Like for example, we have different departments and we want to separate them. So when we do this, all these machines will be separated. They will not be able to do the communication. And you saw that they are connected to the same switch, still they will not be able to do the communication. Now, when we do the subnetting, when we do the subnetting, it is actually not increasing the IP addresses. We are losing some of the IP addresses here. Like when we don't do the subnetting, this 192.168.1.0 was the default network address, and this was the last broadcast address. So we only lose these 2 IP addresses. That means we are only not able to use these 2 addresses. But now when we did the subnetting, we create 4 subnets. Now we lose more IP addresses for network and broadcast. That means we are not able to use this address also, this address also, this address also, this address, this address, and also this address. That means when you try to give these addresses to any machine, any device, with this subnet mask, they will not take it. They know that this is the broadcast address or this is the network address. Like this is my network adapter setting. I will go to IPv4 here, and I want to configure the IP address. Now see, I will try to configure 192.168.1.0 here, and this is the default subnet mask. This is the default subnet mask, and when I try to press OK, it says you can't use this IP address because you see the host portion is 0. It says the host portion is set to 0 and you can't use this because it is a network address. Now when I try to use 255 here, it is also not allowed me to use. It says the host portion address is set to 1 and you can't use it because it is the broadcast address. But if I try to use 63 here, so it will allow me. Why? Because it is the normal address. But now I will do the subnetting here, 192. Now this will not be a normal address. Now machine knows, our device knows that this is not the normal address. Now it is the broadcast address. So when I press OK, it says no, you can't use this address with this subnet mask. It means the host portion is set to 1. That means it is the broadcast address. Same as for 64, it is also what? Our network address of the second block. So when I try to use this, it says no, you can't use this because it is host portion is set to 0. That means it is the network address and we can't use this. Then when you try to use 127, again it says that it is the network address, it is the broadcast address and you can't use it. So all of those addresses with this subnet mask will be considered as a network and broadcast are not able to use. But all the addresses other addresses we can use, like after 0 we can use 1, after 64 we can use 65. It can allow us to use this because it is the valid address of second subnet, second block. It knows that with this subnet mask, this is the valid address of this second block. So this is what machine automatically calculates with the subnet mask. So machine automatically calculate with this subnet mask what is the network address, what is the broadcast address. Now, and which address is from which block also. Now there is one more way of doing the subnetting also. Like this is the way we do actual way. the actual way based on the use what we do. But we can also do it like mathematical way. Mathematical way, like for example someone say, most of the people show you like a mathematics, but it is not a mathematics, it is actually usable thing which is very important to use, like very important for network when you are configuring or designing your network. Now let me show you that also. For example, we have this IP address here, 192, we have this network here 192.168 dot 0, and I get slash 26 here. Now what that means, I have to see now, this someone will give you this, that this is the network and this is slash 26. Now do the subnetting. Now you have to decide that how many networks we have, and in each network how many hosts we have, and what is the blocks and what is the block addresses we have. So all the other things you have to find out. This is like a question you will see. So this is the question and you have to find the answer. Now what is the answer? You have to find that what is the subnet mask, how many network and how many hosts you are getting, and the last answer is to design, to draw the blocks, the block 0, block 1, block 2, block 3. So first what you have to do, first you have to find out the subnetted mask. So first you have to see what this, which class is this. This is what the class C, and based on that you have to find out the default subnet mask. So the first thing what I will do, I will to find out the default subnet mask. Find out the default subnet mask here. This is the first question. So the answer will goes like this. First I will find out that this is what, this is class C. I know that this is now what, it is a class C. Okay, I will know that first this is what, this is class C. Now this is class C means this is the default subnet mask for this class. So default subnet mask is what, 255.255 dot 255.0. This is the default subnet mask. Now in the default subnet mask you will convert it into binary. Binary means you will convert it into binary. Now these all bits are on, dot, on, dot, on. Now we can't change this, this is the default thing. The remaining bits are off, that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Now this is the default subnet mask in decimal and this is in binary. Now these are, we can't change, so I'll remain this as a 1111. Now when you calculate, so we have 8 bits on, 8 bits on and 8 bits on, and then these bits are 0. So total number of default bits we have what, 24. But what it is saying here is 26. Now that means what? We have some extra bits than default. Now imagine if suppose there is only 24 here, if it is written 24, that means we can easily say that there is no subnetting, because that is the default bits. But there is, it is saying 26, that means some extra bits are there. Now when you see some extra bits, like for example in class A, if it is 8 here, that means simple, it is what, no subnetting. If it is more than 8, that means it is subnetting. If in class C, class B, if it is 16 here, slash 16, then it is okay. But if it is more than 16 in class B, that means it is having some extra bits, that means there is some subnetting there. So in class C, default is 24 bits, slash 24 CIDR, that means what, it is default. But it is saying 26, that means there is a extra bits. Now where is the extra bits? So this is 8, 8 will remain 8, these are default, we can't change this, so these will remain 8, and total is what, 24. But we have how many extra bits here to get 26? So actually when we add 2 to 24 we get 26. So we have two extra bits. Now where these two extra bits are? Here. This 0 is actually having two extra bits, and that means what? Total we get 26. So this is what the subnet we have. Now we'll do what? We'll convert it into binary again. So this will be 8 ones, 8 ones, 8 ones. Now here we don't have 8 zeros, we have 2 bits on. And remember, when we have on bits, it will continue from left to right. So we have 1 and 2 bits on. The remaining bits are 0. That means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So this is the 26 here, and this is the binary version of that subnet mask. Now we will convert it into decimal to get the subnetted mask for this /26. So the subnetted mask for /26 will be, this will be 2255 because all the bits are on. So this will be 255, then 255, then 255, but here now it is not 0. So when it is not 0, so it is actually what? These two bits are on. Now we know the value of these two bits, these first two bits of 8 bit, the value is 128 and 64, and when I combine these two values it becomes 192. So this is the subnetted mask we have for this /26. So we solved the first question now. Now we can go for the next one. Now the next thing we want to find out is what? That how many networks and how many networks and host addresses we have, how many blocks we have, and what is the block size. So first I will see what? The default bit. So default bit we can't do anything, so default bit we will leave it as it is. Now how many extra enable bits we have? Remember, extra enable after leaving the default to get the network. So first we want to get the network, that means the blocks, or we can say the network, subnetworks, or we can say what? The blocks. How many blocks we have? How many blocks we have? So, or we can say subnetworks we have. So to get that we have to see 2 raised to extra, remember, extra network bits. So after leaving the default, how many extra enable bits we have? So we have 2 here, 1 and 2. So that means a number of subnetworks we are getting 2 raised to 2 is equal to 4. So number of subnetworks we are getting 4. Now to get the number of hosts per subnetworks, that means host per subnetworks, or we can say that how many size, like block size, what will be the size for the block. We have our blocks and then we got block size. So for that we will see 2 to all the remaining zeros, that means all the remaining zeros, that means host bits. Here we will see the network bits, that is on bits, we can say it is extra network bits, and here we will say all the remaining host bits. So remaining host bits are what? 2 raised to 6 here. We know that 2 raised to 6, the 6 remaining bits are there, 0. So I will do 2 raised to 6 to get the block size, and the size will be 2 raised to 6 is 64. So the second thing we found out that we have 4 blocks, and in each block the block size is 64. Now the third thing we'll do what? We will create the blocks. These things are important. So third thing we'll do what? We'll create the blocks. So the block will start from the first IP, that will be 192.168 dot 1 dot 0, where the host portion is set to 0. So it is starting, and this is the network address because the host portion is set to 0. Now each block has 64, so it will go up to 64. Now 64 means 192.168.1.64. Now 64 means 63. Why 63? Because we are counting 0, and that will be the last address, and that will be the broadcast address. All the addresses in between, they will be considered as a host addresses which we can use. This is the first subnetwork or first block. Then the next block will start from 192.168.1.64. Now this is the first address, so it will be like network, and then it will end on, so where it is going to end? It is going to end on 192.168.1. We add 64 into it because each size has a block size of 64, so every block we should have 64 numbers. So 64 to 64, 127, and this will be the last address, and this will be the broadcast address. All the addresses in between we can use, and they will be considered as a host addresses. Then what? The third block will start from 192.168.1. It is ended on 127, so it will start from 128, and it will be the network address for that third network because it is the first address. Then it will go on to 192.168.1. Now I will add more 64 numbers here because each block has 64. So 128 to 64 will be 191, and that will be the last address for this block. And that is what all the remaining address in between will be considered as a host addresses. That is the end of this block. Then the last block, remember we have only 4 blocks, 4 subnetworks. So it will start from 192.168.1.192 because the previous one ended on 191, and this will be the new network address for this block, and it is going to end it on 192.1.255 because when you add 64 into 192 it will be 255, and that is the last address. That means it is the broadcast address, and all the remaining in between address will be host address that which we can use. And this is the last block, and you can see the IP address is now ended here. Then if the next address will change the network, and it will not be the same network. So the same network we have divided into 4 blocks here. So the 4 blocks, each block has the block size of 64, and these are the 4 blocks. This is the network 0, network 1, network 2, and subnet 2 and subnet 3. Subnet 0, subnet 1, subnet 2, subnet 3, and total we have 4 subnets. And one more interesting thing, in old times when you have a routers and when you try to configure these subnettings, so at that time this subnet 0 was not usable actually. You are not able to use the subnet 0, but that is not the problem now. Now routers can support this subnet 0. There is a command to do that, the subnet 0 command, IP subnet 0, and it is already there, so we don't have to care about this. So we can use all these 4 subnets. So what we did here, we get this question and we try to find out. The first answer is to find out the subnetted mask that we found out here, and the second question is to find out the network and the host addresses, that means the blocks and subnetworks, and each block or subnetwork has how many host addresses, or we can say the block size. So we found out here, and then we created these blocks. We have 4 blocks, so we created these 4 blocks here. So this is another way of doing the subnetting, and when you do it like this, you will feel like it is only some kind of mathematic things, and it is not going to use in the real world. But this is the real world thing, and this is what the requirement, and this is what we do. So this is what the subnetting we have.